Good day. Welcome. This is your Daily Med with Lady V. We will see today man's condition before the fall. That God gave man a job. But before man had this great responsibility, we know God created him in a way in his likeness and in his own image that man could think for himself. Man had knowledge. Adam was made a man with reasoning powers. He had an intellect. He could think. He was not an infant, but he was an adult. We see where God took the animals to him, the animals that came from his hand. Adam's knowledge that was given to him of God, as we see, must have been very extensive, and his language fully developed, because he named those animals and God did not change their names. So the work that he gave Adam to do to name them, God himself was satisfied with the names that Adam gave to each animal. Adam would have noticed that they were male and female. Each one had a mate that was similar to itself, yet different. And so this prepared Adam for a helper or a helpmate when the time comes. He would be comparable to the one who God gave him, which is the woman. His bride was formed from one of his own ribs, taken from his own side as God put him to sleep. So it is from Christ that his bride was secured as he shed his blood in untold agony on the cross. So we see that the woman was taken from the man, but God did not take her from his head to dominate him, nor from his feet to be trodden down, but from under his own arm to be protected, from near his heart to be loved. So Eve herself was named by Adam. That's how intelligent he was. He named her after the fall, but the name he gave her means mother of all living. Genesis 3 verse 20. But in Genesis 2 verse 21 to verse 23, it records how God made a helpmate for Adam. For Adam, God made Eve without the help of another woman, as he had made Adam without neither the help of a man or a woman. In Genesis 3 and verse 15, God predicts Christ. He was made without the help of a man. We were made, you and I, only by man and a woman. So Adam and Eve had the responsibility, as God told them, of reproduction. Remember, he told them, gave them these 5 commands: be fruitful, multiply, replenish, um, keep the garden safe, tend it, and of course, do not eat from the tree of knowledge, good and evil. We see that God gave Adam responsibility. He gave him a job. When he looked at the beautiful garden and see where man was placed and he was alone, he says, no, I don't want you to enjoy this by yourself. You need a companion. You need a friend. You need someone to be with you to enjoy all this that I have given unto you. This job, of course, was one of joy, not one of toil, because there was no yet any thorns nor thistle, because there was no cursed as yet to the ground, because the fall had not yet taken place. So with joy, Adam would till the ground. Adam would be responsible for the garden. But of course, he was supposed to be obedient to God in the commands that he gave him, and to be responsible to make sure he took care of the garden and not to allow intruders to come in. We see where he became negligent in one, that he wasn't guarding the garden as he should, and two, where he became disobedient because he disobeyed and eat from the tree that he should not. We know God placed one restriction upon Adam and Eve, only one, in Genesis 2 and verse 17. And this tree was not an apple tree, as we say from time to time, but the tree of knowledge of good and evil. In Genesis 1:29 and in Genesis 2:16, the Lord told them, you can eat of every herb. You can eat of the fruit trees. You can eat vegetables. So in fact, they were vegetarians, eating herbs and fruits and vegetable. That is what they had in the beginning. When we get to Genesis chapter 9 and verse 3, after the flood, we see where God told Noah that he could eat meat. When we look at Genesis chapter 2 and verse 15, we have to be careful enough to understand that what God said to Adam when he told him, guard this garden, garrison it, make sure you're keeping a watch over it, not just to dress it, but to also guard it. And that's where the negligence came in, when he was not guarding it enough and allowed the serpent not only to come in, but to beguile his own wife Eve and cause him to lose this wonderful garden. And so that is how they disobeyed. He disobeyed God by eating after his wife ate. Sin came, the fall came, and needless to say, they lost this beautiful paradise that God had prepared himself for them. They not only lost this beautiful paradise, but they lost, they separated by sin from God. So as God would normally come and talk to Adam, and they would walk around in the garden in the cool of the day, all this now was missing from Adam's life, because he begins to hide. and we realize that sin brings separation. So the wonderful, beautiful fellowship that they had, let's say, even the day before, within a day, the Bible says, he lost all that because now he became separated from the wonderful God who made all these wonderful things, gave it to him, placed him in charge, but he neglected his duty and disobeyed God, sin against God, and here now we have the fall of man, and God had to turn him out of this wonderful garden. God bless you as we trust God. Don't neglect that which he has given us to do. Don't disobey his commands. That which he say we should do, we should do. That which he say we shouldn't do, we should not do. And let us remain in fellowship and communion with him. God bless you. Thank you again for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please share. And don't forget to visit my YouTube channel, Daily Med with Lady.